is your question like they say they want it, but they're not doing the things to work the business? Is that your question? They're like, I want to be golf.
Yes, yes,
I don't understand.
kind of, but at the same time, it's like they can't comprehend what they really should be doing. I feel like it's almost enormity paralysis.
Okay. So, do you know
So
what
how do I back up and give them just enough pieces?
Okay.
So I guess my real question is, what really are just the essential pieces to get them going so that we don't send them into this enormity paralysis?
Okay. Before I answer that, I'm going to cover my take on the 4-color personalities real quick on how to connect with different people on your team. So quickly, I had to learn, because what wasn't working is I'm very red. So I was connecting with everybody, trying to get them to work their business just like me and do everything that I did because it worked for me, but it wasn't working for them because they were not me. And so I had to really dive in. I had to find people on my team that were a yellow, a green, and a blue, because I'm a red, and really figure out what makes them tick, what motivates them, what scares the heck out of them, what is their biggest fear, all of that. And so quickly, I'm going to tell you how I learned to connect with certain people, and this made all the difference. Okay, yellows. Yellows they're often, their biggest fear is success. They, for some reason, don't feel like they deserve it, or they feel like success or earning a lot of money is wrong, or so they will put their foot on the brakes subconsciously, like we learned from The Secret Code of Success, because they don't believe that they're worth it or that they can have anything good or nice for themselves. Okay, so that's important. Yellows also get easily overwhelmed. And so like a red personality could handle lots of things at one time. Yellows get easily overwhelmed. So that's a little thing to learn about yellows. Blues. Blues, I've learned their big fear is failure. And so they, like my blues, joined my team. They're like, I'm going to be a diamond, Jessica. I want to be a diamond. But I could not get them to make goals to get to gold because they were so scared of failing. They're so sort of putting smaller goals. I could see big picture all day long, but the smaller goals freaked them out because they thought they were going to fail. Blues also they'll talk to anybody and everybody. They usually sign a lot of people because they talk to everybody, but they are not good with details. So they're usually not good with getting people started or getting people instructions or remembering to following up. They're usually not very organized. And so they're going to need some help and assistance in reminding and doing those things. Also, blues hated goals, but they love bite-sized to-do lists. And so you can't say like, this month we're going to message 100 people and you're going to recruit 3. That's going to freak them out. You can say, okay, today, what can we do today that you can check off your to-do list, or this week, in a smaller size bites, okay? Same things with yellows. Yellows and blues get easily overwhelmed. But yellows, back to yellows, they are very credible. They're usually very just good, trustworthy people. And so they sometimes sign the most amazing people just because they are sweet and they are genuine. And they may sign incredible people, but they're not usually going to be the one to like nudge that person to greatness or encourage them to go farther or push them outside of their comfort zone. That feels weird for them. But I'm not saying this is an excuse for anybody. I'm just saying I've learned this is kind of typical for the colors. Greens, they are so into like statistics, working alone, facts, figures, information. If it's fun or big crowds, they're just not that interested usually. So, and then reds, if you have reds and you're not a red, you have to always dangle a carrot in front of their nose, like give them an incentive to work towards, or a goal that's bigger than they think they can do, like challenge them. They love success. They love recognition, and they love, I don't know, they're more natural born leaders, and they usually don't need a whole lot of help. They're go-getter self-starters. Okay, so that very quick summary will help you a ton when getting your new people started. Because if you have a really strong yellow and you're like, okay, let's get our IPA done today. Did you reach out to 10 people today? They're going to be like, ah! When they are overwhelmed, they shut down. It's like they literally do not know what to do. It's overwhelming to them. And so, like you were saying, there's just overload. Like we are now in an information overload. We don't have an information problem. We have an implementation problem. Okay. People are like, oh, there's too many team calls. There's too many information. There's too many products. And they're just like, boom, I can't handle it. I'm not doing anything. So the best way we can simplify things for people, make it simple. Like people think, well, I can't recruit 5 people. Okay. Well, can you reach out to 2 people today? Because you can do that. Just start with today. A good, easy, the IPA journal is awesome. If that's even going to overwhelm them, 3, 2, 1. Let's reach out to 3 people. Let's follow up with 2 people. Let's connect with 1 teammate. Simplify it because people can do that. Okay. But also as a leader, it's important. Like when I do coaching calls, I do them much differently than I used to. When I'm doing a coaching call with someone now, my biggest questions will be, what is your biggest strength? Because I want them to know and recognize what they are good at. What they are good at makes them a leader. It's going to look different than me. It's going to look different from Megan. It's going to look different from Carrie. But what they are good at, people need to know. And they need to, it's like Strength Finder 2.0 is a great book to let people operate and know what they are good at. So when I do a coaching call, I ask them what their biggest strength is. We talk about that for a little while, play on that. And then I ask them, what is your biggest weakness or fear? Almost always people will tell you that they're why they're stuck. If you really ask them, well, what are you most scared to do? There's always something holding them back. The people that say, I'm working my business, I'm just not growing, there's always something else. I'll find out that they're maybe terrified to do a live video. Well, a live video will get you a lot more engagement. They're terrified to send cold messages. Stop using the word cold message if that freaks you out and just say, start the conversation. All you're doing is starting the conversation. It's a no pressure. It's just like some people have got it in their head that they don't like the magic message. Y'all know what the magic message is? Where literally I have my yellows and they just overthink this. They overthink it because all it is saying, hey, you can say, hey, I bet you've seen my Plexus post. Have you ever tried it before? I don't even say that. I say, hey, have you ever tried Plexus before? That is all I say. It freaks some people out because they're used to writing paragraphs or that feels ingenuine. But I'm telling you, I just saw a yellow diamond on the diamond page today say, that magic message, it feels so wrong to me, but man, it works. Because they were doing like this blitz thing and she was like, it works because it's so non-invasive, non-pressure. It is simply starting a conversation. Okay, you're not saying, hey, buy Plexus for me, please, please, please. No, all you're saying is, hey, girl, have you ever tried Plexus before? Like you're genuinely curious, like maybe they've tried it from someone else or maybe, it starts a conversation where they can say, no, that's just for weight loss. And then you can have a conversation. No, it's not just for weight loss. Or they can say, oh, I've been thinking about it, but I'm pregnant right now. And then you can have that conversation. Well, I actually took it while I was pregnant. All it is starting a conversation. And so you got to know who your people are. If they're a strong yellow, then using that verbiage may make all the difference. For some people, you can't say, hey, go add 3 people, go add 3 ambassadors and we'll get you to silver and you can get a bonus, because bonuses freak them out and the word ambassadors freak them out. And so let's say, girl, I know did you know that actually having an accountability partner will help you be more successful in your health goals? Like, do you have any sisters, or your mom or some coworkers? Let's get them all the cheapest price and y'all can get healthy together. Like just wording it that way. Wording is so huge. And let me tell you, even if you do word it perfectly, there's still going to be people that tell you no. Okay, there's still people that tell me no. And so I want you to think, just because not everybody is doing what you want them to do means there's something wrong with you. It is good to get coaching or to let your upline see, like maybe your verbiage or how you word things. That is so huge for you to be coachable, to let another pair of eyes look at how you're communicating with people to see if there's anything that needs to be changed or tweaked. But does that kind of answer your questions? Simplify it, maybe change your verbiage. So we'll go with that one for right now. Okay, Megan said, when is the right time for someone you really can't say the wrong thing? Oh, when it's the right time for someone you really can't say. I mean, Megan just today when I was talking to her on Marco Polo, she said this one girl is finally coming around that her friend sent her to Megan like 3 years ago, but she's just now, and that's true for me. 2 people in January who I'd been messaged 3 years ago finally said, okay, girl, it's time. Your consistency builds credibility. And that's something else you have to tell your new people is consistency builds credibility. I've got those people that join and they only post on Facebook and they're like, well, nobody's joining my team. Or there those people that only reach out to people and don't post? They're going to say, oh, I'm nervous to post. I'm only going to reach out to people face to face or, in person or over the phone. And I tell them my story. Tell them the story. I did that. When I first started, I reached out to my 5 closest friends. Some of them I knew really needed the income. Some I knew really needed the products. Some I knew really hated her job and was pregnant with their 3rd baby. There were different situations. All 5 of them said, no, thank you. Good for you. Because they all thought I was crazy and that I was going to fail. Okay. But all 4 are now leaders on my team. It just took me being consistent with my posting to build the credibility for them to come on board. So that's really important for you to tell your new people that. And that is why I love the IPA sheet, because it does help with a well-rounded business. So you're not just only posting, you are doing the follow-ups, you are doing the connections, and you are doing the personal growth. Because personal growth, self-awareness is mandatory for leadership. Being aware of your weaknesses, being aware of what you are scared of, learning how to push through those. Self-awareness, personal growth is all about you becoming the best possible version of yourself. Because when you're a better version of yourself, you can inspire other people to be better versions of themselves, right? So it's the law of the lid. The more you improve, the more you have the power to empower others to be better as well. The more stagnant you are personally, probably the more stagnant your team is going to be. Whatever is a priority of a leader is usually the priority of the team. Which I'm going to go into events real quick, like convention. If it is a priority to you, like it'll be a priority to your team. If you are not making that a priority, your team is not. And that is such a misfortune, because in-person events, you have to, I always think of everything in the 4 color personalities. Like I just told you how to talk to people. I also think of 4 personalities when I post, because we tend to only post what our color is. Okay. We have to change that up. If you want a business builder on your team, you have to post to attract business builders. Okay. And to give you a tip, I joined for the business. And so income, the Lexus, Hawaii, Diamond documentaries, those appealed to me. And it's not because I'm some money hungry, awful person. It's because I'm business minded. I saw that a $35 investment could make me $1 million, because that's what we made last year. A $35 investment. My husband bought a business last year. Do you know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars it cost us to start his business? And how we're not making any money on it right now, and we will not for years and years. Plexus cost $35, and our W-2s combined last year was $1 million. Okay, so this is about the freedom that we have to offer. And if you can't comprehend $1 million, comprehend $50,000 a year. Okay, because that's more than the average person makes. I mean, the average person makes around $30,000, let's be honest. And you can make that type of income at what? Like a senior gold ruby possibility? And so think about that. Put it whatever scale you need to, but you have to realize if you want someone to build a business, then you have to post about the business. And if you're not making incredible income yet, that's okay. I am. Megan is. Carrie is. Share our stories. Share diamond documentaries. Share at your pay scale. Maybe your last paycheck, maybe it was enough to pay your house payment. Post that. And you're not posting that to brag. You're posting that to show. You have to remember what an outside perspective, an outside person thinks. An outside person thinks you make $50 a month at your cute little hobby. And so why would someone who's looking to make a significant income join you to make $50 a month? They don't know that you make more than that, and they will not know unless you tell them. And if you made a post about that 2 months ago, they didn't see it or they forgot about it. And so you have to post about that often. Okay, so also for the 4-color personalities, you have to keep that in mind for events, for places to provide connection. For example, I'm red, and so it's easy for me to work by myself. But my blues, my yellows, like they need the connection. They want to have fun. They want to do it together. So they need that. My greens would rather work by themselves too. They'd just rather be in the corner reading about science information. However, it is healthy for the greens to be around the blues and be around the yellows and be around. And we also, us yellows, blues, and reds need the greens. We need their information and their brain and their statistics and their good posts about the products. It's like the body of Christ, the body in the church. All 4 colors are needed. They are so needed. I tend to sometimes be too direct. I need my good yellow friends to remind me how important connection is and relationship is, and connecting with people about not just plexus, but their family and what else is going on in their life. So, okay, let's take another question. Like another example, so blues, like power hours. Like I like to work by myself, but when I do power hours, my blues love it because they hate working by themselves. They hate it. And so if they know that they're going to, even if it's virtually, you can't even touch people, but they know that somebody else is doing it with them, they think that's fun. And they're going to be more I'm serious, like my blues will be more likely to actually do work if they're doing it with somebody else. So, and that's all, I learned that from self-awareness. I learned that from learning how I operate and learning how differently other people operate. And so find a friend, find a teammate, take them out to lunch, somebody who's totally different from you, and pick their brain. But pick their brain, let them know that give them the okay to be honest. Like when I took my blue out to lunch, I was like, don't give me the answers that you think I want to hear. I want to learn how your brain operates so I can better connect and lead you. So, okay, next question.
I have a question.
Yes.
Oh, is somebody talking?
No, I was going to say, unmute yourself. You did.
Can you give me your opinion about incentivizing people? When I'm in this big momentum and push and trying to rank up and whatnot, I have incentives going. But then I love Gwen's take on it also when she says you don't want to cheapen the opportunity.
Right.
You don't want them not to be fully invested.
Right.
So just looking for your opinion.
You mean like when you're getting people to sign up?
Right, or $10 off welcome packs or something like that for you.
Yes, okay. Great question. We definitely, as leaders, it's super important for us to convey and communicate how great of a value is to our teammates. Okay, like, because we see this sometimes, like in January, corporate did free signups, and then February was like, argh! And it's like, if you really think about it, y'all, really, it is $35. Like, we cannot train our teams that people will not sign up unless they have an incentive, because that's false. I signed up without an incentive. A lot of you on this call probably signed up without an incentive. And so it's all about creating value and learning the verbiage, again, the words to say too often people are just willing to give it away before, like, this is often a yellow trait too. Oh, it's a yellow, blue husband. Like, my husband will just give stuff away all day long. I'm like, you didn't have to give that away. Like, they would have bought it, like, but I think it comes almost from a place of insecurity of it goes back to belief. Like, if you in your head believe that Plexus is too expensive, then you are always going to cheapen it. You're always going to feel bad about the price. You're always going to want to offer a discount. It's because you don't believe it. But let us not forget, Megan Goff used to spend hundreds of dollars a month on supplements, and her health was never as good as it was today. I mean, she was spending way more than it cost for Plexus to try to get her health back, and it wasn't working. Okay, so we have to remember that. We have to, if we're having a belief issue, let's go back. Megan and Carrie, can you copy and paste? I have that entire thread of Plexus changed my life. There's 20, 25, 5-minute or less video testimonies from our team of people's lives who were completely transformed. And so we got to take a step back, make sure we're teaching our teams that Plexus is a tremendous value. Now, saying all of that, I still used sale codes from now and again. You just cannot I just don't think it's a good practice to do it all the time. Now, I use them usually in 2 situations. If I knew I was trying to rank up the next month, it was really important to add as many people as possible this month to have the people, or, no, wait, that's basically the only time. If it was to help her rank up, right? I thought I was going to say 2 different times. Anyways, so that creates, or to get people off the fence. That was the other thing. To get people off the fence, actually 3 things. And when I do a giveaway, have you guys seen my video on how to do a successful giveaway? I always offer a discount to all of the losers because, oh my goodness, those are all those people that are interested. Let's get them on now and put a timeline on it. If you have not seen that video, watch that. It gives me all my tips on that. It's called How to Do a Successful Giveaway. So where was I going with that? Now, sometimes fence setters, they just need $10 off. Like, they just need, okay, but there's a rhyme and a reason to it. So the kicker is, if you are not continually building your warm and cold market, offering sales won't matter. Like, say corporate puts another sale out next month. I have no idea, but say they do, okay? Say the 90-day rule is so true. So if all of February and all of March, you were never reaching out to anybody new, when April comes, the incentive comes out, you have like hardly anybody to follow up with about it, okay? But if you're organized, and this is all I do, is in your planner, I have the back couple pages that are notes and the list of everybody's name I have ever talked to about Plexus. Just so I will forget. I will straight up forget. So everybody, every new person, a running list, everybody who's ever liked or commented on my Plexus post, anybody that I've started the conversation with, even if they never answered me back, I have a list. So when I'm looking to rank up next month, or corporate incentive comes out, or you or your upline puts a sale out, then you can go to this list and straight follow up. Boom, 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 boom. You have a huge list of people to follow up with to offer this incentive to get them off the fence. Okay? Don't let offering incentives be the only time you're in communication with people, though. Make sure that you are engaging with them on their page, liking, commenting, being their friend, caring about them as a person, even if they never join Plexus. That it will make all the difference to make sure you are still valuing them as a person, regardless if they choose yes or no for Plexus. So sales work sometimes. If you have been working your market, if you have been reaching out, and then sometimes it's so silly. Like, really, $10 will get you off the fence. Like if I have dream teamers, like someone who I really, really believe this would change everything. I've done more. Like I've paid their whole $35, or, I just gauge it from where they're at. But don't feel like you always have to offer a special. You can have that conversation for a while. If they still never sign up or buy, then when you follow up again, maybe offering a discount will help them get off the fence. And also teach your teams, because y'all, I have one leg. They are weird. Like they never offer an incentive themselves. Like they only wait for their upline to do that. And I was like, no, that is dumb. That is not taking ownership. That is not being a leader. You are the leader of your own team. You don't have to wait for anybody else to give you a sale or a discount or an incentive. You are the CEO of your business. So do that. Okay, what else? Did that help you? Was that helpful, Molly? Okay, 15 more minutes. What else?
Don't be bashful. I know you guys have more questions. Jan had a whole list.
I have a really fast question, very simple. But I definitely wanted to ask you: would you do? You're doing the incentive about the Joyce Meyer's book, the mindset book, and you had also highly recommended Present Over Perfect. So I was going to read that this month, but do you think the Joyce Meyer book would be better first?
Yes.
Okay.
Battlefield, if you guys did not catch that, Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce Meyer, it's just something that has tremendously been rocking my world and my mindset to get the chatterbox out. I had a lot of wilderness mentalities of being judgmental, critical, always thinking about the past, being indecisive, thinking, oh, this is just too hard, or like all of these things that, anyways. So if you read or listen to this on Audible for this month, easy peasy. Go write 3 things that resonated with you, and I'm drawing for 2 full entire triplex systems for you to give to a dream teamer. So this is valuable. This will help people get past this and stuff like this. This and the secret code of success will help people get past roadblocks, but it's going to help people win the war with Satan on their mind, y'all. Okay. And help your marriages. It's helping mine. Okay. Okay. Present Over Perfect is also a really great book to read. It's a little bit, it's a little bit more leisurely than this one. But still very good. Okay. And if Megan and Carrie, if you guys have questions that you think would help stir the discussion some way, feel free to ask. I know Jan's got another one.
I know I've got questions.
No, okay. That's great. That's what this for.
I actually talked to Angie and Megan about this earlier today, but let's get Jessica's take on it. I'm talking with a guy from Canada because obviously we want to capitalize on Canada.
Side note, whoever adds the most Canadian ambassadors this month gets a $200 Bloomingdale's.
The red in me has to go for this, okay?
Yeah, y'all. We're about to explode Canada.
So, with that said, I'm talking with a guy in Canada. He's not convinced that he wants to work the business. But what he was interested in talking to me about is, he's a real estate broker. He was interested in talking to me about what we could work as a referral deal where he would get something. So my take on it was to actually tell him to sign as an ambassador. And then each of these referrals that he gives me, I would put under him. And then he would get the $25 from the welcome pack. And then he would also get residual income going forward because he would get the PayPal, the pay points each month after that.
Okay.
But 2 things that I need to know here. Am I missing something? And I have not presented this to him yet. I'm interested in verbiage as I present this to him to make sure that I go the right direction with this. This is a fairly successful real estate broker. He was in the California market and made a decision to move to Canada a few years ago and has been successful in Canada. He has as a goal to speak with 100 people every day to build his business. So that tells you what a go-getter he is. I can understand his hesitancy to look at building another business when he is so focused on building his business. But I also know that he knows a lot of people.
Right. Okay.
So I want to capitalize on his willingness to work with me as far as referrals go. But I need to know the right way to go after this.
Okay. That's a tricky question. There's two ways. Like, if he was not such an influential person, a go-getter who talked to so many people, like if it was like your sister's best friend who's a loser and lazy, and okay, I feel like, because I might sign him up and I might try to do that just because of how influential he could be in Canada. Now you got your sister's best friend who's lazy. What's going to happen with that one if you try to sign her up and then put people underneath her? Guess what's going to happen? She's going to do nothing. You're going to train everybody else underneath her, and she's going to collect a paycheck. And that stinks. That is stinks. Now, this person is business-minded, has that possibility. I believe if he starts seeing an income roll in, he's going to be like, what? That was easy. Let me figure out how I can make some more. And then he could explode. And so that's different. And so I think I would talk to him about that. Yeah. Okay. Jocelyn Melody, do you guys have any questions?
I have a question. Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah, Angie, hey.
Okay. Hey. Okay, so 2 questions. I'll make it snappy. Is your best advice for people to wait until the Canada thing opens? Because I have 2 people that are supposed to be signing like this week, but I'm wondering if I should wait to the 21st or what?
I say no way.
No, don't wait.
I say that's even cooler. So they can be getting in now. They can be learning the ins and outs, being on the team page, being inspired, start to share. So when it does officially launch, they'll go quicker.
Okay.
That was definitely my opinion.
Okay, then my second question is this. So what's your best advice for me? Like, I am moving heaven and earth to promote before the deadline to Emerald, and my team is growing, and my points were up a little bit this month, but gosh, they've fallen back so much. And I want to know what your number one best piece of advice is. I have a feeling you're going to say keep recruiting, which is, girl, that's what I'm doing. But like, tell me here.
Okay. Have you watched, I just watched this yesterday, and I think it's been out a while, and I think she's going live on Tamara's page at 8:30. Francesca, somebody has a video. Has any of you guys seen this? I watched it last night. She recruited 150 people last year, but that was after her 3rd year of being in Plexus. She changed things up with being very intentional in groups. I know you guys have heard that. You're like, be intentional in groups, like really that Super Saturday. But she talks about how she did it. And this is not an overnight thing. She actually says this is like a 6-month process. And so for you, I was doing the math, like, okay, you for sure need to be at like June or July. Like incorporating these principles right now, I think you'll see a ton of fruit in, this summer. Anyways, I will get you guys that call. But yeah, she was the #1 recruiter in Texas this year. After being in the business for 3 years, she started to do this to expand her networks. And the ways that she did it is brilliant. And she added 150 level 1s last year. So that would be my biggest advice. Go watch that video and do what she does.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. One more? 2 more?
I'll go.
I'm going to text Megan and Carrie that right now. I'm thinking about it, but go ahead and I'm listening.
What is the simplest and most effective way that you duplicate?
Good question. 1 second. Okay, the simplest and most effective way that I duplicate. I feel like just going back to what we said before, in that keeping it simple. Keep it super simple, or keep it simple smart, the KISS thing, the 3-2-1 or the daily IPA sheet. And again, a lot of you guys are real runners. So hear me, that my honest belief is doing a 3-2-1 or 1 page of the daily IPA sheet is the minimum if you're just kind of looking to stay where you are. If you are looking to rank up or rank up quickly, you have to do more than that. Like, you have to view that. I really view that as just somebody who wants to have just a business that kind of has stabilized, just to keep it, because the statistics are about, they say in network marketing, about a third of the people every month on your team are new, about a third of the people are staying, and about a third of the people are leaving. Okay, let me say that again. About a third of the people on a network marketing team are new each month. About a third of the people you had are staying. Only about a third of the people you had are staying. And about a third of the people you are leaving or not reordering or not having their subscription on. So a third. If you're not having heavily recruiting, you're losing more people than you have coming in. And so if you're looking to go up, you have to up your activity. But that was just a little extra. I don't think that really answered your question. But duplicatable, I think just keeping a simple system. It gets so easy to get tangled up in 500 different things. Keep it to a system. And you'll have it like, don't you have a 7-day trial group? You guys always, like, you guys have some consistent things on your team, tapping people into that. But here, this is my extra sense. This wasn't a question, but as a leader, you have to learn how to nudge your people a little bit further. Okay? I see a lot of people sign people up and they say things like, I don't want to bug them. I don't want to bother them. I'm just letting them be. And you may think you are being nice, but that is not being a good leader. That is not being a good leader. A leader helps people get what they want. So if you know they need to make $500 a month, like they're hurting financially, they need to make $500 a month, they told you they need to make $500 a month, and you're just letting them sit there, you're not being a good leader. And so you have to learn how to connect with them. So don't go be like, girl, go get your $500. Why are you being so lazy? No, that's not going to work. But you are going to say, okay, look, Sarah, you told me that you needed $500. I want to help you get there. So how many people do you think you need to reach out to this week to help you get to your goals? Good leaders ask good questions. And so they learn to not just tell people what to do, but make them think for themselves. So if they are needing to get to gold in 2 months, then they have got to be recruiting some people. So let's say, because people always do this too. They say, oh, I want to be gold next month. And they have like one person on their team. And so I always say, okay, well, how many people would you need to add to your team this month for you to be gold next month? And I always add extra for cushion, so because sometimes they have never thought about that. Like my red brain is like, what? You've never thought about that? Because that's all I think about. But so I will ask them, because they may know, they may say, well, I don't know. I just want to be gold next month. Okay, we can't help them achieve their goals if they don't know the rules to the game. So asking simple questions will help you know if they understand, which I have to go, but I want to leave you with this last story. My friend Ryan Evans, she was the biggest Plexus hater. She posted on Facebook, please make the post stop. And all my friends from church were like, yes, make them stop. I was like mortified. She had celiac disease, and I knew they were in dire need financially, okay? So she was one of the 2 people I ever offered to buy the entire Triplex X Factor for as a guinea pig. I knew this would be the only way she would try it. And she did, and long story short, she used to have to go to an oncologist every single month to get blood transfusions because her body would not absorb nutrition. Being on the Triplex X Factor for 30 days transformed her health. Her doctor dismissed her as a patient. She no longer needed infusions. But what the point of what I'm trying to say is she signed up. I had her do a goals exercise. I had my level 1s tell me where they wanted to be in 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year. And she filled that out, and she said she wanted to be silver in 1 year. Okay? I knew she could be silver in a day. Okay? So what that exercise did is that showed me that she just didn't understand. Here's what most leaders will do. They'll see that sheet and they'll say, okay, well, Ryan said she wanted to be silver in a year. Good luck. And they'll leave her alone. And guess what? Ryan would have nothing would have ever happened with the business for Ryan. But I saw that and I said, Ryan, sister, you could be silver this week. Let me help you. And you could be emerald in a year. And when we had that discussion, when I was able to ask her some questions to help her see that, help her understand about the comp plan, that's exactly what she did. She went silver that week and emerald in a year just from having that conversation. So you don't leave your people hanging, and teach your teammates to not leave your people hanging. A good leader has those conversations, and they ask the questions. They help other people be leaders. And so instead of, Molly, you asking your level ones, like, I don't know, any question, I always word it like, so instead, Molly, of you asking your level one if they're going to convention, I would word it like, say her name is Sarah. I'd say, Sarah, who do you have from your team coming to convention? Okay. Or if there's like a VIP event, I'm not going to go to my level one Samantha and say, Samantha, are you coming to the VIP event? Instead, I'm going to say, Samantha, who do you have from your team coming to the VIP event? I'm always rising people up to be a leader, or I'm assuming the best out of them. Like, even if I know they didn't do it. So I'm going to say, like, instead of saying, Sarah, how many people did you invite to the VIP event when I know she didn't do it? I'm going to say, Sarah, who do you have coming to the VIP event? I'm going to assume that she already has asked people, assume that she already has people coming. Okay? Because that's going to also build belief in them. They're like, oh, well, Jessica thinks that I'm good enough to, that builds belief. Everything, the power of life and death is in our tongue. And so these are skills I learned, how to inspire people, how to talk to people, how to get the best out of people. Okay? I totally have to leave. I'm late for my next call. Y'all are awesome. Awesome.
Thank you so much,
So
Jessica.
proud of you.
Awesome.
See you in Orlando at convention.
Bye.
Sorry, I have to cut it off. I hate being rushed. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. You're great. Thank you.